People always say I have a good eye for character. I can spot a liar from across the room, sense a cheater before he even knows he's going to cheat. It's a gift, really. Or maybe a curse, depending on who you ask. But I don't believe in curses. I believe in patterns, in evidence, in the little things people think you won't notice. I'm not the jealous type. That's what I always tell them. And it's true. I don't get jealous. I get certain. There's a difference. Jealousy is messy, emotional, irrational. Certainty is clean. It's logical. It's the way you notice a new cologne on his shirt or a text message that makes him smile just a little too long. It's the way he says he's working late, but his shoes are muddy when he comes home. I don't accuse. I observe. I wait. I collect the facts. I suppose that's why I'm recording this, not for the police, obviously. They wouldn't understand. Not for my family. I don't have any left. Not really. Maybe for myself or for someone who'll find this someday and want to know the truth. The real truth, not the version they'll print in the papers. I want it on record that I was never angry. I was never out of control. I was careful. I was fair. The first one, I'll admit, caught me off guard. I was younger then, more naive. I thought love meant trust, and trust meant never asking questions. But then you start to notice things. The way he'd turn his phone face down when I walked into the room. The way he'd laugh at something on his screen and then go quiet when I asked what was so funny. I told myself it was nothing. I told myself I was being paranoid. But the feeling wouldn't go away. It grew, like a splinter under the skin. I tried to talk to him once. I asked if he was happy. He said, of course, why wouldn't he be? He smiled, but his eyes darted to the door. That's when I knew. He was planning to leave. Or worse, he was already seeing someone else. I couldn't let that happen. I won't go into details. That's not the point. Let's just say sometimes people have accidents. Sometimes they slip in the shower or take the wrong pills or fall asleep at the wheel. The world is a dangerous place, especially for men who lie. Afterward, I felt calm. Not happy, not sad. Just calm, like I'd set something right. I cleaned the apartment, threw out his things, and went back to work on Monday like nothing had happened. People asked if I was okay, and I said yes, of course. Why wouldn't I be? He was gone, but I was still here. I always survive. The second one was easier. By then I knew what to look for. The signs were all there, clear as day. He started coming home late, smelling like cheap perfume. He said it was from the office, some secretary's birthday party. I smiled and nodded. I even baked him a cake. He never saw it coming. No one ever does. I know what you're thinking. You think I'm some kind of monster, but I'm not. I'm just careful. I don't make mistakes. I don't leave evidence. I don't get emotional. That's what separates me from the rest. I'm not like those women you see on TV, crying and screaming and begging for attention. I don't want attention. I want peace. Sometimes I wonder if they ever really loved me. Maybe they did in their own way. Maybe I just expected too much. But is it so wrong to want loyalty? Is it so wrong to want someone who won't lie to your face? Who won't sneak around behind your back? I don't think so. I think most people are just too weak to do what needs to be done. The third one was different. He was clever, I'll give him that. He covered his tracks, deleted his messages, kept his story straight. But no one is perfect. Everyone slips up eventually. I found a receipt in his jacket pocket, dinner for two, at a place we'd never been. He said it was a work thing, but I knew better. I always know. I watched him for weeks, waiting for him to make a mistake. He never did. Not a single late night, not a single suspicious call. I started to doubt myself, just a little. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe he was different. But then I saw him, one night, standing outside our building, talking to a woman I'd never seen before. They laughed, hugged, and she kissed him on the cheek. That was all the proof I needed. I won't bore you with the details. Like I said, I'm not here to confess. I'm here to explain. There's a difference. Confession is for people who feel guilty. I don't. I did what I had to do. I always do. They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. But what if you're right every time? What if the world really is full of liars and cheaters and you're the only one willing to do something about it? Does that make you insane or just honest? I suppose it doesn't matter now. They found the last one faster than I expected. I was careful, but not careful enough. Maybe I got lazy. Maybe I wanted to be caught. I don't know. The police came in the middle of the night, banging on the door, shouting my name. I didn't run. I didn't scream. I just sat on the couch and waited. They asked me questions, lots of questions. I answered them all, calmly, politely. I told them everything they wanted to hear, except the truth. They never asked the right questions anyway. They want motives, reasons, tears. I don't have any of those. I have facts. I have certainty. Now I'm here in this place with white walls and locked doors. They call it a hospital, but it feels more like a waiting room for people who don't fit anywhere else. The doctors ask me how I'm feeling. I tell them I'm fine. Why wouldn't I be? I'm safe here. No one can lie to me. No one can leave me. Sometimes I hear the other patients at night crying or screaming or talking to themselves. I don't join in. I just listen. I'm good at listening. That's how you learn things. That's how you survive. They say I'll be here for a long time, maybe forever. That's fine with me. Out there, people lie. In here, at least, everyone's honest about being broken. And if you're listening to this, if you ever wonder what really happened, just remember, I was never jealous. I was just certain. They keep asking me about remorse. That's their favorite word here. Do you feel sorry for what you did? Do you understand the pain you caused? I nod because it's easier than arguing. But I don't feel sorry. I feel relieved. I don't have to watch for signs anymore. Don't have to wonder if someone's lying to me. Don't have to clean up after anyone's mess but my own. Sometimes I think about the men, not their faces. Those fade quickly, but the patterns. The way they all thought they could hide things from me. The way they underestimated what I'd notice. I wonder if they ever realized, in those last moments, that I was right. That I saw them for what they really were. Or maybe they never understood at all. Most people don't. The doctors say I have delusions. They say I see things that aren't there, that I invent betrayals because I'm afraid of being alone. I let them talk. They like to hear themselves. They write notes in their little folders and nod at each other as if they're the ones in control. But I know better. I know what's real. There's a woman here who screams at night. She says her husband is coming to get her, that he's hiding in the walls. The nurses give her medicine and tell her she's safe. I watch her sometimes, the way she paces, the way her eyes dart to the corners of the room. I wonder if she's ever been right about anything. I wonder if she's just not as careful as I was. They let me have a journal. I write in it every day, just like this. I write down what I see, what I hear, what I remember. It helps pass the time. Sometimes I imagine someone will read it. Maybe a doctor, maybe a stranger, maybe someone like me. Maybe they'll understand. Maybe they'll see that I wasn't cruel, just precise. I hear rumors that my story made the news. The Black Widow of the city, they called me. I think that's funny. I never liked spiders. I never wanted to be famous. I just wanted peace. I wanted someone who wouldn't lie. Is that so much to ask? They say I'll never leave this place. That's fine. I don't need to. Out there, people pretend. In here, at least, the masks are off. The nurses are polite, but I see the way they look at me. Like I'm dangerous. Like I'm something to be studied, not understood. That's all right. I've always been good at being alone. Sometimes, late at night, I hear footsteps in the hallway. I imagine it's one of them, come back to apologize, to explain. But it's always just a nurse, checking the doors, making sure we're all where we're supposed to be. I smile and say goodnight. I'm not angry, I'm not sad, I'm just waiting. If you're listening to this, if you ever find these words, don't waste your time looking for reasons. There aren't any. People do what they do. Some of us just see things more clearly. Some of us are willing to act. I was never jealous. I was never angry. I was just certain. And now, finally, I can rest.